Hello and welcome back to Law Pe Charcha. I am Advocate Abhishek Matkar and today I will be discussing a very interesting case which came up before the Bombay High Court last week, and related to that I'll also be talking about the inherent power which a civil court has under section 151 of the Civil Procedure Code. But before we begin, why don't you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we post new videos. So on last Friday, the Bombay High Court came across a very unusual situation and it had to make use of its inherent power to deliver justice in the matter. A veteran advocate, Mr. Kirit Damania, was hospitalized on 25th July due to several health problems, including diabetes and heart and kidney trouble. He also had an attack of meningitis and his condition had become very critical. Even though he was conscious, he had lost all his cognitive abilities and could not recognize anyone. He was unmarried and he had no siblings or lineal descendants who were alive. He was living all alone at his flat in Mahalakshmi. Apart from that, he had neither issued any power of attorney nor appointed any constituted attorney to represent him or to attend to his affairs. His hospital bills were running into lakhs, and for the time being, they were being paid through his credit cards and by his close friends. Concerned by this situation, senior advocate Mr. Nitin Thakkar, along with a former associate of Mr. Damania, filed a suit in the High Court seeking access to Mr. Damania's assets and properties so that his medical bills can be paid off and his legal obligations can be taken care of. The High Court noticed that this kind of a unique situation was not covered by any provision in the CPC or any other law. In fact, even the guardianship laws of the country did not contemplate such a situation. So, this was kind of a grey area or a vacuum in the law. Moreover, even though this was filed in the form of a civil suit, there was no real dispute in the case. So, there was no question of issuing summons to the defendants, filing of written statements, or framing of any issues in the matter. In spite of that, the court felt that it cannot leave such a situation unattended, and merely because there is a vacuum in the law, it does not mean that the court is helpless. So, Justice Patel, who was hearing the matter, opined that this was a fit case to invoke Section 151 of the Civil Procedure Code and proceeded to decree the suit then and there. The senior counsel was appointed as Mr. Damania's lawful guardian and the manager of his assets, properties, and affairs. And this also included the power to operate Mr. Damania's bank accounts so that his medical bills can be paid. Now, in the backdrop of this case, let us find out what is this inherent power of the court under section 151 of the CPC. The section says that nothing in the CPC limits or otherwise affects the inherent power of the court to make such orders as may be necessary for the ends of justice or to prevent the abuse of the process of the court. Now, first of all, remember that CPC is a procedural law. It lays down the procedure which is to be followed by a court in different situations arising in civil matters. But even the legislature cannot predict each and every situation which may arise in the future in courts of law. And that is why some laws have express provisions like section 151 of the CPC so that a court can use its discretion in situations which are not contemplated by the act itself. The idea behind this is that a court of law should not be prevented from delivering justice in a fit case merely because there is no provision in the law to remedy that situation. This inherent power is available to all civil courts, whether it is the trial judge or the Supreme Court, and Section 151 merely gives statutory recognition to a power which the court already has. Having said that, this discretionary power is subject to certain restrictions because after all, discretion should never be arbitrary or unlimited. And that is why Supreme Court as well as the High Courts have over the years drawn certain boundaries to the use of this power. For example, the Supreme Court has ruled that Section 151 cannot be used to create rights or liabilities not contemplated by the law. Also, if something is expressly provided for in the Civil Procedure Code, then Section 151 cannot be used to nullify that provision or to pass any order which is in conflict with that specific provision. In a landmark judgment on this point, the Supreme Court has clearly stated that this inherent power is to be used by the courts with great care and caution. It is to be used only when absolutely necessary and when there is no provision in the law governing that matter. The court must be sure about the bona fides of the applicant and that the use of this provision is necessary either to meet the ends of justice or to prevent the abuse of the process of law. Now let us see a couple of situations in which the courts have used their inherent powers under the CPC. The first one is a case decided by the Supreme Court in 2009. Here, the husband had filed an application before the family court seeking medical examination of his wife so as to ascertain her mental condition. But the application was rejected by the family court, and later the decision was confirmed by the Madhya Pradesh High Court. So the husband went in appeal to the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court said that even though there is no provision in the Hindu Marriage Act or any other law by which a party in a matrimonial proceeding can be compelled to undergo medical examination, nevertheless, the court has complete inherent power under Section 151 of the CPC to pass such an order so as to do complete justice, because the primary duty of the court is to make sure that the truth comes out. So, the Supreme Court set aside the impugned orders and allowed the application made by the husband. Now, the next case is from the Bombay High Court. Here, the plaintiff and the intervener in a suit had jointly played a fraud upon the court and obtained judgment in their favor by filing false partnership deeds, fabricating the power of attorney of the defendants, and so on. When all of this came to the knowledge of the defendant, he filed a notice of motion in the same suit for setting aside or recalling the orders which were passed in favor of the plaintiff. Once the fraud was established, the High Court restored the suits to the file and also directed the plaintiff and the intervener to pay costs to the defendant. While doing so, Justice Dhanuka laid down certain principles on this point. Firstly, any judgment, decree, or order which is obtained by fraud is a nullity and it has no existence in the eyes of law. Secondly, if it is proved that any order is obtained by commission of a fraud, then any subsequent proceedings taken on the basis of such order are also null and void, and no party can derive any benefit from such an order. And most importantly, the court can certainly exercise its inherent power to recall or to set aside any such judgment, decree, or order which has been obtained by committing a fraud upon the court. So, friends, that was a small glimpse of Section 151 of the CPC, and there are literally hundreds of judgments in which the courts have used their inherent powers to do substantial justice. But mind you, this is not the only provision which recognizes the inherent powers of the court. So can you tell me which other statute has similar provisions? If you know the answer, then post it in the comment section right away. Also, in the description box, you will find citations for all the judgments which I have referred to today so that you can check them out later. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to Law Pe Charcha and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for all the updates and interesting trivia. Thank you and keep watching.